Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotee. So today is Sunday. It is 19th of July. It is Ashadha Masa or Vamana Masa. Sukla Paksham and Sasti Tithi. So there is one Vaishnava event today in the calendar. So that is Vakreshwara, disappearance day of Vakreshwara Pandit. So it was also 2 weeks ago. We have seen the appearance day. Now again we are seeing disappearance day of Vakreshwara Pandita. We shall read a few lines from Vakreshwara Pandita from ISKCON TCT.com. His disappearance day. So can I request Jai Mataji to read this one, please?
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Sri Vakreshwara Pandit was present with Sriman Mahaprabhu during his pastimes in Navadvip, and after his acceptance of sannyasa, he also accompanied him to Jagannath Puri. During the time of the Lord's residence in Puri, he continued to live with him there as well. Sri Vakreshwara Pandit took birth in the village of Guptipara near Triveni. He was an especially proficient dancer and kirtanya and could dance continuously for 72 hours. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began his pastimes of congregational chanting of the holy name of Sri Hari in Navadvip, Sri Vakreshwara Pandit was an important singer and dancer in that assembly. It was by his mercy that Devananda Pandit was delivered from the wrath of Mahaprabhu. He was also present during the Lord's journey to Ramkeli. Devananda Pandit was at one time known as the foremost lecturer on the Bhagavad. One day, Srivas Pandit went to hear his discourse, and being moved in ecstatic love by hearing the Bhagavatam, he began to cry. A few of the ignorant students of Devananda Pandit, thinking that this was creating a disturbance, removed Srivas Pandit from the assembly and left him outside. Though this was done in front of Devananda, he didn't restrain his students from this act of disregard to the devotee Bhagavat. So there are two types of Bhagavat, the book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat. For this reason, Devanand Pandit became implicated in an offense to a great devotee, Mahabhagavat. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to hear how his dear devotee Srivas Pandit had been disrespected, he gave many instructions concerning the Bhagavat. He told that those who read the book Bhagavat but don't offer respects to the devotee Bhagavat are simply offenders. Though they may read the Bhagavad for eons, still they will never attain love of Godhead. The devotee Bhagavad and the book Bhagavad are non-different. In order to understand the book Bhagavad, one must first sincerely serve the devotee Bhagavad. Therefore, Mahaprabhu neglected Devananda and didn't bestow his mercy on him. One evening, Vakreshwar Pandit came to perform dancing and chanting of the holy name at the house of one devotee from Kulia, across the bank of the Ganga from Nadia. Receiving this auspicious news, Devanand proceeded there, and upon seeing the appearance of the symptoms of divine love in the person of Sri Vakreshwar Pandit, he became charmed. Gradually, a great crowd gathered at that place, and Devanand Pandit, taking a cane in his hand, kept the crowd in order so as not to disturb the ecstatic dancing of Sri Vakreshwar Pandit. In this way, Vakreshwar Pandit performed chanting and dancing for 2 prahars, 6 hours, on into the night. When he finished dancing and sat down, Devanand came and offered dandavats at the lotus feet of Sri Vakreshwar Pandit, who became pleased with this service and blessed Devanand with the words, Krishna Bhakti Hoik. May you attain devotion of Sri Lord Krishna. From that day, devotion was awakened in the heart of Devanand by the mercy of Vakreshwar Pandit. Thereafter, when Mahaprabhu came to Nadia to have darshan of his mother and Mother Ganges, he bestowed his mercy on Devanand at Kulia. Because you have served Vakreshwar, I have noticed you. Vakreshwar is fully imbued with the Lord's transcendental energy, and whoever becomes devoted to him attains to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. His heart is the personal abode of Sri Krishna, and as Sri Krishna dances, so Vakreshwar also dances. Wherever one can get the association of Vakreshwar, that place is the sum total of all holy places and is as good as Sri Vaikuntha. Prabhuji, am I continuing? Sri Vakreshwar Pandit's disciple was Gopal Guru Goswami, and Gopal Guru Goswami's disciple was Sri Dhyan Chandanda Goswami. In his Dhyan Chandra Paddhati, Dhyan Chandra Goswami has written, that person who was previously very expert in the arts of singing and dancing, the Gopi Tunga Vidya, is presently renowned in the world as Vakreshwar Pandit. He has appeared on the 5th day of the dark fortnight of the month Ashad, June, July, Vaman Mase, and he closed his pastimes in this world on the 6th day of the bright fortnight of the month Ashad. While Vakreshwar danced, Mahaprabhu himself would sing, and Vakreshwar would catch hold of his lotus feet, saying, O moon-faced one, give me 10,000 Gandharvas and let them sing while I dance. Then I'll be happy. Mahaprabhu answered, you have one of my wings. If I had another like you, I could fly in the sky. CC Adi 10.17 Vakreshwar Pandit's worshipable deity, Sri Sri Radhakanta, whom he worshipped in Kashi Mishra's house, which was also the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gambhira. These deities are still being worshipped there to this day. Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances, and thank you for giving me opportunity to read this. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So today's disciplines they are Vakreshwar Pandit. Okay, that is from Devan's perspective. So for now, we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni speaking that so after Diti Maharani bore the children of Kashyap Prajapati in her womb for 100 years because they was thinking that they would disturb the demigod, she kept the children in her womb itself for 100 years. At that time, all the planetary systems, all of their effulgence and luster is being reduced, diminished. And then, so knowing what is happening to this light and all those things, their prowess. So they have gone to Lord Brahma and asking for what is the reason, likewise. So likewise, Maitreya Muni says, like, Loke tena hata loke, lokapala hato jasaha, lokapala hato jasaha. Their prowess was being diminished. Nyevedayan Vishwasrije, Nyevedayan Vishwasrije. So they have submitted that case in front of Lord Brahma. And Advanta Vitikaram Disham, and darkness is spreading in all directions. So, and today, what demigods are submitting and how they are approaching Lord Brahman, demigods, likewise Maitreya Muni says to Vidura. So, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 15, verse number 3. So, demigods are speaking to Lord Brahma. And here, whenever we approach any personality for any information or to know more details about it. So first of all, how to approach, this is correct. So Brahma is the topmost person in this universe, the highest authority. So demigods approaching Brahma. He is easily accessible for all the demigods. And they're representing, asking them, and then addressing him that you know everything, oh great personality, oh Brahma. So you know everything in this universe. And so here something is disturbing us. So you know everything, and even time factor would not influence you. So there is nothing which you do not know. So likewise, they're addressing before they are asking actually uh, their problem. Yeah. So Deva Vuchuhu तम एतद्विभो वेत्त संविघ्न यद्वयं वृषम् न हि अव्यक्तं भगवतः कालेन अस्पृष्टवर्त्मनः तम एतद्विभो वेत्त. So Deva, which the demigods are saying, so tama etad vibho veta, and this tamaha is the darkness, etad and all this the darkness, vibho veta, so O great one, you know all these things. Tama etad vibho veta, vibho is great personality. Veta, you know. Sambigna yadvayam vrusham. Sambignaha is the very anxious. Yadvayam, we are very anxious. Vrusham, and very much aggrieved also with that darkness. Tama etad vibho veta sambigna yadvayam vrusham. Nahi avyaktam bhagavatah. Here, nahi na is not his, because avyaktam bhagavatah. Avyaktam is unmanifest, bhagavatah of you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavatah. So even great personalities like Brahma, Lord Shiva, or any devotee, sometimes they're also addressed the first time, but occasionally, not every time. Occasionally, they will also address it as the Bhagavatah, Bhagavan. So here, nahi avyaktam bhagavatah kalen asprishta vatmanah. Kalen, by time, asprishta is untouched vatmanah. And whose way? So time factor does not influence Lord Brahma, and he is like a avyaktam. Bhagavatah. In different ways, demigods are glorifying Lord Brahma. As we have seen, when Narad Muni also approached Lord Brahma, and then he was glorifying that um, Lord Brahma, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, and we do not know anything. So you are just like a Karamalakavad Vishwam, and you know everything in this universe, everything, the very minute things, just like a gooseberry in your hand, you know every minute things. And likewise, at that time, Brahma also responded to Narada Muni that I am not the supreme personality of Godhead, O Narada. Uh, and then there is Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead, and then he mentions there. Uh, Narada Muni, it was very, very Deva Deva Namaste Stu Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja Tad Vijani Jnanam Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. You know everything. So I would like to know many details about the who is behind, and what is the ultimate thing. Yad Rupam, Yad Adhishtanam, Yad Yataha Srishtam Idam Prabho, Yat Samstam, Yat Param Yatcha, Tat Tattvam Vada Tatpataha. I wanted to know everything, dear Father. So likewise, he approached, you know everything. Sarvam hi etad Bhavan Veda, Bhota Bhavya, Bhavat Prabhu, Karamalakavad Vishwam, and Vijnanavasitam Tava. You know everything. Okay, likewise, glorifying at the time, Lord Brahma, he mentions that um, addressing that whatever Narada Muni, whatever you have addressed me, there is no surprise in that one, but know that I am not the supreme personality of Godhead. Narayana Paraveda, Narayana Deva Deva Narayana Angajaha. So he in such a way he says that Narayana is the supreme personality of Godhead. तस्मै नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धीमहि यन्मय दुर्जयमां वदन्ति जगद्गुरुं वदन् मां वदन्ति जगद्गुरुं. So it is only the Vasudeva is the supreme personality of Godhead, but not me. Likewise, Brahma addresses. So now again, that it is done for all the demigods. They have approached Lord Brahma. They are addressing Brahma. Nahi avyaktam bhagavataha kalena asprushtavatmanaha. Kalena asprushtavatmanaha. And time does not influence you, oh dear Brahma. And you are Bhagavan and avyaktam. Likewise, unmanifest. They are addressing Brahma in this way. तम एतद् विभोवेत संविघ्न यद्भयं वृषं न हि अव्यक्तं भगवतः कालेन अस्पृष्टवत्मनः. The translation. The fortunate demigod said, O great one, just see this darkness, which you know very well, and which is causing us anxieties, because the influence of time cannot touch you. There is nothing unmanifest before you. Nahi avyaktam bhagavataha. Likewise, they are addressing. A purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Gaurangi Mataji to read the purport, please? Hare Krishna Gaurangi Mataji. Okay, any other devotees, please? Yes, Mataji, please.
Brahma is addressed here, Prabhupada. Brahma is addressed here as Vishnu, as Vibhu, and as the personality of Godhead. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, incarnation of the mode of presence in the material world. He is none different in the representative sense from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore the influence of time cannot affect him. The influence of time, which manifested as past, present, and future, cannot touch higher personalities like Brahma and other demigods. Sometimes demigods and great sages who have attained such perfection are called Trikala Jana. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is mentioning Brahma is addressed here as Vibhuhu. Vibhuhu is the great personality. And as the personality of Godhead. And he is the supreme personality of Godhead's incarnation of the mode of passion in the material world. And this is, again, Lord says, Krishna, the Vishnu, whenever he appeared, again he mentions that Brahma and Shiva, they are his expansions. There is no difference when in terms of the material affair, whenever engaging in the or appointed as the in charges for material affairs to maintain his cosmic manifestation. There aham brahma cha sarvasya jagatah karanam param. Atmeshu Rupadrashta Swayam Drug Avisheshanah. Swayam Drug Avisheshanah. There is no difference between. Do not distinguish us when we are Jagataha Karanam Param. We three are Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. So for the three causes, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, they are maintaining. But even they are for the causes of this Jagataha Karanam Param, but beyond them, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is there, who is Name Karma Nilimpanti, Name Karma Palespraha. He does not have any duty. Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate. न तत्समश्च अभ्युदिकस्य दृश्यते. So that is Krishna. Krishna is beyond, but here Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, they are appointed administrators. But whereas Vishnu is not different from Krishna, but here he carries out those duties in terms of the maintenance of the universe. But out of that, Brahma is for mode of creation, the mode of passion by which this material universe is getting created. And then Lord Vishnu, he maintains, he is always in the mode of goodness. He represents the mode of goodness and he maintains all the living entities. So here Lord Brahma is not different in the representative sense. This is Avisheshanaha, Swayam Durg Avisheshanaha. Even though Vishnu is Atmeshwar Upadrashta, he is the super soul and also overseer of everything. Swayam Durg Avisheshanaha. But there is no difference between in terms of the carrying out the functions. Everyone has got a duty to carry out. So he is not different in the representative sense from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore the influence of time cannot affect him. So in terms of the calculations, material calculations, his age is almost 311 trillion years. And the influence of time, which manifests as past, present, and future, cannot touch higher personalities like Brahma and other demigods. So sometimes demigods and great sages have attained such perfections are called Trikalagnya. And out of this, here Lord Shiva is also again Kshiram Yatadadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayati Nehi Tatah Prutagasti Hetoho. यः शम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So Krishna, whenever he comes for the sake of destruction, and that is just like a yogurt is manifested from the milk, likewise Lord Shiva was manifested from Krishna himself. But here in the how Lord Shiva has appeared in the beginning of the creation. When Brahma was angry, Lord Shiva appeared from the eyebrows of the Lord Brahma. Okay, that is Rudra. And then he is appointed for the destruction principle or Rudra principle. And here's some demigods and great sages have attained such perfection are called Trikalagnya. There are few personalities like Markandeya Rishi. His lifespan is 7 days of Brahma, and Lomas Rishi, and there is Bhagadalbya. So these are great personalities. They are called Trikal, and also Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is also Paravaradnya. He knows past, present, and future. In his meditation, he sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so he could compile so many scriptures for the people in this age of Kali. They are called Trikalajnas. And again, it is sometimes we practically witness in a small window, not in a very higher. If a person is situated in the Krishna consciousness, he would witness what is happening in and around for himself and also for others if he has witnessed it. It is not exactly that he knows what actions and reactions are taking place. So that's why devotees are always engaging in only Krishna consciousness, not in the materialistic activity. Every materialistic activity or desire, it will give you better results. So knowing that one, there is no use in engaging in the materialist activity. So that the devotees also understands in a different dimension. Okay, and here Prabhupada mentions, whoever has attained such perfection are called Trikalajna. That is from this purport. The demigods are approaching Lord Brahma and asking for the reason. Tama etad vibho veta samvigna yadvayam brusham nahi avyaktam bhagavataha kalena asprushtavatmanah. Can I request devotees for the recitation to repeat line by line? Devavūchuhu
Devavuchuhu
tama etad vibhoveta
Samayitadipo
Vibhoveta
samvigna yadvayam vrusham
samnyayadvayam vrusham
nahi avyaktam bhagavataha
Nahyam Vyaktam Bhagavataha
Bhagavataha
kalena sprushtavatmanaha.
kalena sprushta vartmanaha.
Okay, again. Devavūchuhu
Deva uchuhu
tama etad vibhoveta
tama etad vibhoveta
samvigna yadvayam vrusham
samnyayadvayam vrusham
nahi avyaktam bhagavataha
na vyaktam bhagavataha
kalena asprushtavatmanaha.
kalena
Bhagavataha
kalena sprushta vartmanaha.
Once more. Devavūchuhu
Deva uchuhu
tama etad vibhoveta
tama etad vibhoveta
samvigna yadvayam vrusham
samvignayadvayam vrusham
nahi avyaktam bhagavataha
naya avyaktam bhagavataha
kalena asprushtavatmanaha.
kalena asprushta vartmanaha.
Very nice. Okay, can I request devotees take a turn to recite? Jai Mataji, please.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Deva uchuhu tama etad vibho vetha samvignaya dvayam vrusham nahya avayaktam bhagavataha kalena sprashta vartmanaha. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
Devavuchuhu Tam etadvipo vecha samvignayadvayam vrusham Nahi avyaktam bhagavataha kalena sprushtavatmanaha.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Meena Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Deva uvacha Samayetadipo vetya savignayadvayam vrusham Nahya yaktam bhagavataha kalena sprustavartmanaha.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji. Okay, so that is very beautiful shloka. Samayetad vibhoveta samvignayadvayam vrusham nahi avyaktam bhagavataha kalena asprushtavatmanaha. Meena Mataji, would you like to read the translation?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, thank you. The fortune demigod said, "O Great One, just see the darkness which you know very well and which is causing us anxieties. Because the influence of time cannot touch you, there is nothing unmanifested before you." Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita.
Jai, thank you, Mataji. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Today letter to Satsvarupa, July 1st, 1971, Los Angeles. It is a small letter. Can I request Jai Mataji to read the letter, please?
Hare Krishna. My dear Satswarupa, please accept my blessings. Enclosed, please find tape number 2 from LA, 4th Canto, 8th chapter. Kindly acknowledge date of receipt. I hope that by now you have got the throne, etc., all ready for installation ceremony. By the middle of July, I shall be going to New York, and at that time, you can send us tickets for going to Boston also. We are three: Shyam Sundara, Samuel Spristra, Arvinda Arthur J. Friedman, and myself. From Boston, I shall go to New Vrindavan, come again to New York, and then go to London. So please arrange for Kirtanand Swami to send tickets round trip to Pittsburgh. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any take your points?
So here, just I think the main thing I think he's just talking about his itinerary, and he wants to come hopefully for the installation ceremony, but everything is ready. So it's asking Satswarapa Prabhuji that keep everything, hopefully everything would have got to him and he will keep everything ready. He will also, he needs to send 3 tickets so they can, 3 devotees can come, including him, Shyam Sundar Prabhuji and Arvinda Prabhuji can all 3 of them can come. And then he's just talking about his itinerary, what's the best way. So he's hoping that it will be arranged for him, and Kirtanand Swami to send the tickets. But the first one is all about Prabhupada is continuing, as he had said before as well, that he was not well at one point. So all his transcription, all his dictation work had slowed down a bit, but now it seems he's getting back to he's got full energy and he's continuing with all his dictation. So he's sending the tape of the 4th canto, 8th chapter, such a lovely one, as we know Dhruv Maharaj's one. So he's saying it's all ready and ready for transcription, for translation. So yes, there isn't much to add, but yeah, Prabhupada, full of energy, is going everywhere, visiting everybody, keeping an eye on everything. So it's so nice to see. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, we shall move to next Srila from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so Arjuna is in the middle of Kurukshetra battle, and then he does not want to fight with his brothers. So he's admitting so many of those things, like if many people dies, all elders dies, then there will not be anyone to lead the family in the family traditions, Jati Dharma, Kula Dharma, and Sanatana Dharma, like that. So Sankaro Naraka eva Kulagnanam Kulasya cha Patanti Pitro Tesham Lupta Pindojaka Kriyaha. And they do not offer oblations to the forefathers, they do not give food and water. Pinda Udaka Kriyaha. Lupta means there will be stopped. They will be stopped. And then Doshairetaihi Kulagnanam Varna Sankara Karakaihi Usyadhyante Jati Dharmaha Kula Dharmasha Shashvataha. And these family traditions, community projects, they'll be completely stopped because of this Varna Sankara. These are Doshairetaihi. These are all false, by such false. Kulagnanam Varna Sankara Karakaihi. Those children who are taking birth in the unwanted progeny, they do not continue this Pinda Vodaka Kriyaha. So likewise, Arjuna is mentioning further saying that all these things, what I have heard, which are being followed by the human society, and then those people will go to the hellish life, and people who are ruining the family traditions, they will go back to hell and permanently there. So in such a way, it is not the opinion of Arjuna, but he has heard from the Guru Parampara in a disciplined succession. Likewise, Arjuna also mentioning It is not his personal opinions, it is from disciplic succession he has heard from the authorities, bona fide authorities. We are in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, verse number 43. उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दनं नरके नीतं वासो भवतीति अनुशुश्रम. So, Janardhana, O Krishna, Utsanna Dharmanam. Why here Arjuna is addressing Krishna as a Janardhana? Janardhana is one who elevates the living entity in the human society. So the names are addressing to Krishna in Keshava, Rishikesha, and Janardhana. These are all Achyuta. And based on the context, there is a deep meaning for every time it is addressed. So here Janardhana, here because Kula Dharmas, Manushyanam. So in this context, Janardhana, very beautiful, perfect words are used to address Krishna here. Utsanna Kula Dharmanam. Utsana is spoiled Kula Dharmanam. Of those who have family traditions are spoiled. And who spoils those family traditions? Manushyanam, of such men. Janardana, O Krishna, Narake Nitam Vaso, they will always reside in the hell. Narake Nitam Vaso, Bhavati iti Anushishrama. In such a way, I have heard from the disciplic succession. So, O Krishna, that's why I do not want to fight, because I'm engaging here in killing of my kinsmen. By that, family traditions will be ruined. Kulajnanam, this is again he mentions Kulagnanam, Dosheretehi, Kulagnanam, Varna Sankarakarakaihi. Because of those reasons, if I kill them, he says that Papa Mevashri, we will only get the sin. So that's why by that Narake Nitamba. So I have to go to the hell. That's why I do not wanted to fight. He's telling Krishna like that. I have heard it from authorities. It is not my personal opinion. See, Arjuna is so smart. उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणं मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नीतं वासो भवतीति अनुशुश्रुम. The translation, O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can you request Asha Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Arjuna refuses. Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authorities. That is the way receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There is a system in the Varnashrama institution by which before death one has to undergo a process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayachita. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as the result of sinful activities. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So here, Arjuna is not, it is his personal opinion. Sometimes many people think, I thought, and they will put I, and me, because my opinion is like this, and that person says like this. So these are all called ahamameti, iti etasmin yojitastvaya. Yo avagraha ahamameti. This is yo avagraha ahamameti, iti etasmin yojitastvaya. It is called false ego. But here, Arjuna is not saying in his personal thoughts because one's mind can think so many things. Yet sankalpa vikalpabhyam vartate kama sambhavaha. Mind says, I want like this, I don't like this. I want to fulfill this desire, I don't want that one. Likewise, keep on thinking because there is no stability for the mind. Whatever mind thinks yesterday and today's reflection to the mind is different. Mind cannot. That's why, because of the mind mental speculations, one should not neglect his day-to-day regulative principles and duties, which are prescribed based on the constitutional position. As a devotee, one has to carry on for carrying on with his duties. It is not that I feel like this and so I don't want to do that. Generally, we see from the children, I don't like it, I like it, I don't want to do that. These are all on mental speculations. Mind, someday it feels good, someday it does not feel good. And mind changes from yesterday perception to today's perception, from today to tomorrow, keeps on changing. Arjuna does not put all his arguments based on his personal experience or mental speculations, but on what he has heard from the authorities. Authorities means they speak only the truth, which is absolute, which is not changed based on time, place, and circumstances. It which is always remains the same. That is Varnashrama Dharma. It is eternal Dharma. So here, that is the way of receiving real knowledge. This is evam parampara praptam imam rajashyo viduhu. Starting from the imam vivaspate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvakavi abbravi evam parampara praptam imam rajashyo viduhu sakalena mahata yogo nastah parantapa सएवायं मया चेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं चेतद् उत्तमम्. O dear Arjuna, you are my dear friend and a devotee. So because of that, I am imparting this knowledge unto you, this Srimad Bhagavad Gita knowledge, because this is Rahasyam Hetad Uttamam. It is the best knowledge. Certainly, Rahasyam Hi Etad Uttamam. It is definitely likewise. Krishna imparts all this confidential knowledge unto Arjuna. So this is again, Krishna is not saying, again he mentions, he spoke to the sun god. And sun god spoke to Manu, and then he spoke likewise. Sun god spoke to Manu, Manu spoke to Ikshvaku, and within that lineage. But in evam parampara praptam. Just knowledge is given from one mouth to another mouth, to the guru to disciple, and when disciple to his disciple, like that. And they do not have any authority to change the meaning of it. They will repeat as it is. What, in order to become a guru, what is the qualification? Simply repeat the message that you have received. If there is any personal opinions are included, then it will be ruined, diluted, and there will not be any potency for it to influence the further downstreams. So here, one cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. So for that one, so tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshinti jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha means one who is already established in that knowledge. Upadekshintite jnanam, they will give the knowledge because they have seen the truth already. Tattvadarshinaha, scientifically and practically, they will speak. But one has to approach tadvidhi pranipatena, just by humble and meek in that mood and learn, eager to learn from the spiritual master. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. In a humble mood, one has to inquire from the spiritual master. But it is not that arguing, like because in the scriptures it is that, can you tell me, show me God. Likewise, some people are so foolish. They do not understand. And mainly children going to the schools, these schools, secondary school or primary school, observe in the materialistic way, influenced by the modern science. They wanted to see everything with their eyes and with practically, but they do not see the which is going behind in the spiritual. न भवेद्ग्राह्यमिन्द्रियैः अतः श्रीकृष्णामादि न भवेद्ग्राह्यमिन्द्रियैः. They cannot be perceived through the senses or mental speculations, or cannot be understood by the arguments and speculations and debates. It needs to be understood by with submissive nature. Approach some humbly to the person who is who is already established in that knowledge. So there is a system in the Varnashrama institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. This is called the process of atonement. Whatever he has committed, one must realize that I have not engaged in the devotional service. That is the process of atonement. And one who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement. It is called also prayaschitta. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives. People sometimes they will commit mistakes and simply ignore it. That is most offensive, even for themselves. Sa atmaha. They are the killer of their own soul because it's just ego. So those people will again take birth, again going through the hellish conditions. They have to go through the karmic reactions of those sinful activities. See, just because they do not submit themselves or ego, all time they are engaging in sinful activities, thinking that I am the doer, but we are not the doer. Even at the last moment, many people they do not. So this is the demoniac nature. But here, if we, by any chance, if he admits, he comes to the senses or he realizes that one, he must go through the process of atonement so that at least he will be free from the results of sinful activities. So otherwise, he will be going to the hellish. So this is Arjuna saying that I have heard it from the authorities. So this is Bhavati iti Anushrama. Okay, like as Prabhupada is explaining. Again, the whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the conversations of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya, so this is what we discussed. First of all, what is the perfections of human life? So here, Ramananda, first of all, he says that one must go at the end, Prayaschitta, but and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, what else is there? Varnashrama Dharma. And then further, then not Varnashrama Dharma, further. Then he speaks about Bhagavatam and then devotees association, chanting of the holy names of the Lord, and then that further. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he discloses himself, and then to hear more about Radharani and Krishna's confidential pastimes, where Ramananda Rai, he was absorbed. Okay. Sarubham Bhattacharya, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going for the tour towards southern India, Sarubham Bhattacharya, before that he has met Ramananda Rai, saying that but he has criticized, he did not understand Ramanand. And then at the time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was scholarly and he was like a Mayavadi philosopher, was preaching Mayavada philosophy. Later on, under the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became a pure devotee. And then, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going towards Southern India tour, and he requests Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that, oh, I have got one request, Mahaprabhu, saying that so when you are in the southern India, so there is one person called Ramanand Rai who works in the as a I think he's the mayor or something like that, and works in the government official in the Prataprudra kingdom. So he is a devotee of the Lord. And due to my Mayavadic nature, I did not understand his feelings and symptoms at that point of time. Now, because of your mercy on me, I am delivered now. I understand the mood of Ramananda. Now I kindly request you, please meet Ramananda. So he asks Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, and later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Ramananda on the banks of Godavari River. These beautiful conversations took place. Okay, so there this Prayaschitta, and then further is Varnashrama Dharma. Further beyond that one is Bhagavata Dharma, association of devotees, Guru Shastra Sadhu Sangha, like that, and chanting of the holy names. Okay, so that is from little bit of the purport. So here Arjuna is speaking. Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardhana narake neetam vaso bhavati iti anushrama. And who ruins the family traditions, they will go to the hellish planets permanently. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And from the, okay, can I request devotees to recite this shloka as well? I think we have got small verse only. Jai Mataji, would you like to recite or follow first of all 3 times and then recite? Utsanna kula dharmanam
Utsana kula dharmanam
manushyanam janardhana
manushyanam janardana
narake nitam vaso
naraketam vaso
Vasu
bhavatiti anusushrama.
bhavatiti anushrama.
Again. Utsanna kula dharmanam
Utsano kula dharmanam
Dharmanam
manushyanam janardhana
Manishyanam Janardana
narake nitam vaso
Narakini
Narake Vastu
bhavatiti anusushrama.
bhavati.
Bhagatiti Anushrama
Once more. Utsanna kula dharmanam
Utsanna Kula
Kula
Dharmanam
dharmanam
manushyanam janardhana
manushyanam
Manishyanam
janardana
Janardana
narake nitam vaso
Narake
naraketam
Nitam
vaso
Vaso
bhavatiti anusushrama.
bhavati
Bhavadeti
anushrama.
Anushrama.
Very nice. Thank you. Can I request Jai Mataji to go first?
Yes, Hare Krishna, thank you. Utsanakula dharmanam manushanam janardana narake niyatam vaso bhavatiti anusushruma. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
Krishna. I'm going to copy J Mataji. Utsannakuladharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vaso bhavatiti anushrama.
Want to go again, Mataji?
Okay. Utsannakuladharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vaso bhavatiti anushrama. Still find the cartoon.
Very nice, Mataji. You will come back again. Meena Mataji, please. Usha Mataji, please.
Yes, whatever it is. Utsanam kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana नरके नियतं वासो भवति इति अनुशोश्रुमा.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. During the Mataji, are you available, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am here, Prabhuji. Okay. Utsanakula dharmanam manusyanam janardana narake niyatam vasu bhavatitya anususrama. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीति अनुशुश्रम. Jai Mataji, would you like to lead Mataji? Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Meena Mataji, did you say something?
Yes, can I do?
Yes, please. Yes.
उष्णनकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीत्य अनुशोषणम्.
Mataji, Jai Mataji.
Yes. Utsanakula-dharmanam.
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां
Manushyanam Janardana.
मनुष्याणां जनार्दन
Narake niyatam vaso.
नरके
नरके नियतं वासो
Bhavatiti anusushruma.
भवतीति अनुशुश्रुमा.
Once more, Mataji.
Utsanakula-dharmanam.
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां
Manushyanam Janardana.
मनुष्याणां जनार्दन
Narake niyatam vaso.
नरके
नरके नियतं वासो
Bhavatiti anusushruma.
भवतीति अनुशुश्रुमा.
Utsanakula-dharmanam.
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां
Manushyanam Janardana.
मनुष्याणां जनार्दन
Narake niyatam vaso.
नरके नियतं वासो
Bhavatiti anusushruma.
भवतीति अनुशुश्रुमा.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, would you like to go?
I'll try, bro. उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणं मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीति अनुशुश्रुमा.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone want to go?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. May I try? Okay. उत्सनकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवति जित्यानुशुश्रुमा. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji. Meena Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, I will try.
Yes, Mataji.
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवति इति अनुशोश्रुमा.
Nice. Thank you. You want to go again, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, can I hear? उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवति इति अनुशोश्रुमा.
Very nice.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Prabhu, I can't get the tunes.
Very good try, Mataji.
Yes,
Hmm.
thank you, Prabhu.
Want to go again, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, I have tried. उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवति इति अनुशुश्रुमा.
Thank you, Mataji.
Practice, more practice, Prabhu, I need.
Meena Mataji.
उत्तमकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीत्य अनुशुश्रुमा.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Kuladharmanam Manushyanam Janardhana Narake Niyatam Vaso Bhavatiti Anushruma. Okay, very nice. Thank you so much. With that is from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And yeah, Mataji, want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have two questions actually. Hopefully I shouldn't take long. But this morning's letter that I was reading, I think I might have made a mistake. So I needed to know the difference between Bhagavat and Bhagavata. So Bhagavata is Lord, the Supreme Lord, as well as the book Bhagavat. Is that correct? But Bhagavat, or which way around it is? Sorry, Prabhuji. So I was reading something. I don't know whether I was reading it right, wrong, probably. In the letter that in the Vakeshwara Pandits. So not the letter, sorry, this one. There is Bhagavat and here Bhagavat concerning the book Bhagavat. So should we be pronouncing it as Bhagavat or Bhagavat?
So it is Bhagavata.
Bhagavat. Okay. Yeah.
Bhagavata. One is book Bhagavata and another one is devotee Bhagavata. So, but in the Hindis, they will cut some, they do not take A at the end, they'll cut the A. So, actually, it is Bhagavata.
Bhagavata, yes. And is there Bhagavat as well?
Not Bhagavat, in the here, it is mentioned Bhagavataha. This is Bhagavataha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavati, Bhagavataha, and the Bhagavat or Bhagavata is the like a Srimad Bhagavatam, as a book Bhagavatam or a devotee Bhagavatam. Bhagavati, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavataha, again, our few, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, addressing a great personality. And Bhagavata, without Visarga, is a book Bhagavata or devotee Bhagavata.
Bhagavata is the book and devotee Bhagavata, and Bhagavataha and Bhagavati.
Bhagavati is Supreme Lord. Bhagavataha, again, of you. You, here of you, of Supreme Personality of Godhead, like that. Bhagavan, again, Supreme Personality of Godhead, straight away.
Yeah.
Bhagavata is book Bhagavata and devotee Bhagavata. It addresses two. Savai Mahabhagavato Mahatma Mahanubhavo Mahatam Mahishtaha Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamatihi Mahabhagavata. Bhagavata, it is addressing the devotee Bhagavata.
Yeah.
And that's based on the context. यस्यां वै सूर्यमानानां कृष्णे परमपूरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुरुषः शोकः शोकमोहभयापः. This is पिबन्ति भगवत आत्मनः सतां कथामृतं श्रवणपुटे संभृतम्. Whereas it is mentioned धर्मप्रोदितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम्. वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वसुशिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते श्रीमद्भागवते Bhagavati is book Bhagavata or literature. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kurite. So that is the different context using Bhagavata.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. My second question is about Lord Brahma. So this the purport we were reading today, it says Brahma is not influenced by time. But that's what confused me, because I thought he was influenced by time, being in Brahmalok, where time is affected. And also sometimes when we see pictures of Brahma, he looks in the when he first came out, he looked very young, and then over time we see the elderly Brahma. So am I thinking with a different different brain? Obviously I'm not thinking.
So it is the context here. Four addressing demigods are addressing Brahma, and they wanted help from Lord Brahma there. So there are addressing Brahma that Kalena Asprushtavatmaniha. And in comparison to the demigods, Lord Brahma's lifespan is innumerable. For example, if there is a one ant and coming to me, and the ant is speaking to me, it may ask me, telling that, "Oh, my dear person," so something so addressing. Then it may address, "You are not affected by the time." In terms of the ant's lifespan is different, and it may address me like I am eternal. Likewise, demigods may address Brahma like that, Kalena Asprushtavatmanaha. Time does not touch you. It is and the limitations of their mind. So his demigods are addressing him like that. But beyond Brahma,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But but in because he is in Brahmaloka, that over there everyone goes through the same birth, old age, disease, same as in our world as well.
the people in the Brahmaloka, they're always happy, and there are no diseases, no anxiety. But because they are in the Brahmaloka, still in this material world, by looking at the other living entities, sometimes they will not be happy, but not for themselves, but looking at other living entities entangled here in the mostly in this absorbed materialistic activities. For them, then they do not be happy sometimes. Sukadeva Goswami has mentioned Parikshit in the previous chapter. And those people stay as long as Brahma is there, and then they go back to Godhead from there itself to spiritual planet. They do not come down further. So that is one. But again, taking birth, it happens. It is only in this middle planetary systems that we see. Uh, but I have not come across children are born in the Brahmaloka, children are born in the Siddhaloka like that. But people are born in this material world, in the Bhuloka only. That is what I have seen so far. But I have not seen anywhere that living it just taking birth in the Brahmaloka like that. They are being created there. Something like that we can see from Bhagavatam. And we don't see that people are dying in the Brahmaloka or Siddhaloka in the planetary systems. But there were fights between demigods and Amravati, and then demigods, and then demons were fighting. Demons were killed by the demigods, and then Sukracharya made them alive. Again, some of the demigods are also were punished by Lord Shiva before when in the Daksha Yajna. Even their limbs were broken, and there is a Posa. mm, Different names are there. In the Daksha Yajna, you could see them. Those are all out of 12 Adityas. some of them are also lost their limbs. Like one of these, it comes from Dakshayagnya there, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the fourth canto, fifth chapter, the station of sacrifice. Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva. Here, so here, Bhaga may get back his eyes and Bhrigu his mustache. This is Brahma's request, but they don't get back. So, but Lord Shiva says that one, saying that Bhaga would see through some other demo, through the eyes of Ashwini Kumaras, I think. Not that one. And then this pose are there, it is mentioned, and then Bhaga. Demigod, whose limbs have been broken by your soldiers, recover from injuries by your grace. This is Brahma's request. And then in the next chapter, Lord Shiva mentions to Lord Brahma that I have punished them that to teach a lesson, but no, see, I did not take a serious view of their offenses, and I have punished them only in order to right them only. But here he says that since the head of Daksha has already been burned to ashes, he will have a head of a goat. Demigod known as Bhaga will be able to see his share of sacrifice through the eyes of Mitra. Through the eyes of Mitra. And then demigod Posa will be able to chew only through the teeth of his disciples. And if alone, he will have to satisfy himself by eating dough made from the chickpea flour. But the demigods who have agreed to give me my share of the sacrifice will recover from all their injuries. So Bhaga and Posa, they are also children of Aditi Mata, Adityas. But they were also punished, they lost their limbs. But they have got some arrangement to accept some kind of food. That means there is also punishments for them, even for the demigods. But I don't see that demigods were died, something like that. Because Indra, as soon as if demigods loses their life, Indra immediately he will go and sprinkle this nectar on top of them, again they will be back to life. Like Sukracharya, he would, due to the Mrityunjay mantra, he will make the dead demons into again back to life. Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Good. And from the announcements point of view, so today Sunday we don't have any evening sessions. Evening the part 6:30 p.m. And if you want to see if you got any other questions, kindly raise. Otherwise, we shall move to Ramayana. Okay, so we say the Ramayana. So Hanuman is in the Lanka, so observing Ravana's palace, which is like a celestial. It contains all celestial items there, and Hanuman was a bit wondered how by looking at the opulence of Ravana. And then let me go and see here. So there every kind of food and drink placed in gold and crystal vessels are there. Hanuman is in there, and then he sees the women are in disarray in different postures. He sees them. And then there, so here feeling reassured but simultaneously discontented at not finding Sita, Hanuman came out of the bedchamber. Where should he look now? How could he return without finding Sita? What would he say to Sugriva and Rama when they asked him, "What did you accomplish upon reaching Lanka?" Maybe that sorrowful lady had died of grief, or perhaps Rakshasas had devoured her. Hanuman could not bear such thoughts. He had to keep looking. If he could not find Sita, then he would fast until death. So this is the resort of Hanuman. He wanted to go in that path. He wanted to find. Jai Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, sorry.
So have we stopped until here?
I left early, so I wasn't sure whether you did, but so we should. No, so we have done. So remember, he said we covered the Hanuman semi-clad women, and then he came down. He now was on top, looking at that. We've gone further down. Actually, we've done all this. So remember, we did. So he now surveyed the local grove. So we talked about Ravan, how handsome he was, and all that. So we should be now in the where he's surveying the grove and looking where Sita could be. So
in that case, so we shall read from here.
I think, but I left a bit early, so I wasn't sure whether you.
Would you like to read the first two paragraphs, Mataji, please?
Oh, okay. Yes, sure. Thinking in this way, he went along the paths outside the palace. As he walked, he saw ahead of him the palace gardens. They had not yet been searched. Hanuman prayed to the gods that he might at last succeed in finding Sita. He paused as he reached the gardens and thought of Rama. Thrilled at the prospect of finding the princess, he leapt up onto the top of the surrounding wall. From his vantage point, Hanuman surveyed the lovely grove, which was lit by the moon. A sweet fragrance reached his nostrils as he looked over the large enclosure. He saw blossoming trees of every kind, as well as silvery creepers and golden shrubs. Flowers grew everywhere along the sides of immaculate lawns. Peacocks and parrots perched on the trees, along with many other varieties of colorful birds. Hanuman ran quickly along the wall, carefully examining the garden. He jumped from tree to tree, and they shed their flowers, making the earth appear like a richly adorned woman. As he leapt, he awoke flocks of birds who flew upwards, shaking the branches of the trees and showering Hanuman with blossoms. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, Asha Mataji, next two paragraphs, Mataji.
Hanuman moved impetuously, anxious to find Sita. He saw ponds of different shapes full of lotuses and sleeping swans. There were bathing pools with golden steps leaping down to them and banks of fine sand made entirely of crushed pearls. Revolters ran between silver trees covered over flowers of gold. Fruits such as Hanuman had never seen hung from the boughs of the trees. Everywhere the monkey looked, he was wonder-struck at the opulence. In the center of the garden, he came upon a large simshapa tree. He climbed to its top and gazed around in all directions, eager to catch sight of Sita. At the distance away, he saw a temple situated in a large grove of Ashoka trees. Those trees, with their thousands of bright red blossoms appearing in every season, seems as though made entirely of flowers. Simply by looking upon those splendid trees, a man would feel his grief dispelled. The lofty temple amid the trees was standing on 1,000 marble pillars. It looked like Mount Kailasa, Shiva's glorious abode. Steps of coral rose up to a large terrace of refined gold. Hanuman spotted a woman lying near the temple. She was surrounded by Rakshasas and tossing about on the ground. Hanuman leapt through the trees to take closer look. The woman was clad in soiled garments, but she was beautiful, like a diamond covered in dust. Her slender body was smeared with dirt. She lay repeatedly sighing and seemed destroyed, her face streaked with tears. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. We shall the next two paragraphs. Meena Mataji, please. Two paragraphs. Mataji.
Hare Krishna. This was surely Sita. Hanuman felt his heart leap with joy, but it was ignored to see her in such a rich, re- rich, rich condition, appearing in every way like a eclipse moon. All too fallen to the ground and weeping, she spread about her a golden luster, immersed in a mighty wave of grief. She seems like a flame intertwined by smoke. Her dark eyes, with their long black lashes, dared about the helplessly, like those of a fawn snared by a hunter. Hanuman gazed upon her. He recognized the celestial yellow garment he had seen waving in the breeze when Raman had passed over the Risimukha. This was undoubtedly the lady seized by that demon. The monkey gazed with sorrow at the princesses. How powerful and inscrutable was destiny! Sita was the daughter of a king and the wife of an invisible hero. Yet she was now suffering torment. She was gentle, kind, and always virtuous, undeserving of any pain. How then had she been placed in such terrible circumstances? With it was inconceivable. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, Vishal Mataji, next two paragraphs. Mataji. Vishal Mataji. If Vishal Mataji is not available, Gauri Mataji. Okay. We shall read one paragraph and then we stop there. So Hanuman thought of Rama. How could he now best fulfill his Lord's purpose? Sita was difficult to approach because she was surrounded by hundreds of fierce Rakshasas. Hanuman examined them carefully. All of the Rakshasas were ugly and grossly misshapen. Some had one eye in their foreheads, others had huge ears that covered their bodies. Some had heads like boars, tigers, buffaloes, goats, deer, or foxes. Some had their head sunk into their chests. They were all sizes, some very tall and others dwarf, humpbacks, and some had the legs, feet of elephants, camels, or horses. Some had abnormally long and twisted noses. Some had large pointed ears or fierce line like teeth. Others had hair down to their feet and hands with claws. Okay, so then we shall stop there. Jai Mataji, would you like to summarize Mataji some of them then?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'll try, Prabhuji. I'm not sure, but yeah. So we see when Hanumanji comes out of that bed chamber, and then he felt a bit down. He felt a bit despondent, and he was like, obviously, because his main goal was to find Sita, and he hadn't found Sita. He had looked in all the bed chambers, and he hadn't found her. So he became a bit down just for a while, but straight away then he picked up. And he started to focus, and then he saw this beautiful grove outside, and the description of the grove, it's so beautiful. We see that there are lovely trees full of blossoms, and peacocks and parrots, and the fruits that he had never seen before. So we see beauty in that grove, colorful birds, the beautiful temple as well. We see that there is a beautiful temple full of gold. So there's a lot of beauty in Lanka, and so we see that all that beauty is also due to Krishna as well. So he says that in Bhagavad Gita as well, that all the beauty, all the beautiful things are due to my splendor. He says that in chapter 10. And then now Hanumanji is jumping from tree to tree, and just to try and find Sita ji, and he sees. So we see also here that lovely ponds and rivulets. It's so beautiful the way it's described by Krishna Dhamma, by Valmiki here as well. But it's so beautiful. And here also that we see that the grove was full of Ashoka trees. There is a tree mentioned, Simshapa. I don't know too much, but it says it's an Indian rosewood tree, which gives beautiful fragrance as well. And so simply by looking at just the grove, one would just fall in love. Even while reading this, we can imagine how beautiful it must have been. But amongst all that, we see that there is also Rakshasas there as well, surrounding all in that grove as well. So we see Rakshasas, how ugly looking, how big, ugly looking. So there is a description of that as well, how they are there as well. And we see that what is the purpose of all those Rakshasas surrounding. So we see Sita ji as well. I think from far he sees her, I don't know. So one thing, Prabhuji, I liked really was, I have not read too much this week, unfortunately, in Valmiki's Ramayana, but Prabhuji here is describing, Krishnadam Prabhuji is describing so beautifully all these lovely similes he's using. So we can see here, it looked like Mount Kailash, Shiva's glorious abode. So we see that temple, the top of the temple, we see that described as Mount Kailash. And sometimes on Mount Kailash as well, depending on the weather, we see how it shines as well, and it looks quite nice, very silvery. And we see also beautiful blossoms described as well, how when Hanuman was jumping from tree to tree, the blossoms were coming down. So when they were falling on the ground, it looked like a beautiful red carpet. So some of the descriptions used are so beautiful, Prabhuji. But anyway, here he sees Sita ji from far. He sees a woman lying near the temple, surrounded by all the Rakshasas. And Rakshasas, we see that, their purpose was to stop her from escaping. We see that, they wanted to intimidate her. They wanted to give in to Ravana's pleas. Ravana wanted her to become his bride. So that was the purpose. The Rakshasas were all put there to surround her, so she could not escape. And also because of their very ugly figures, they were very powerful, intimidating. Anyone would get scared of them. So definitely they were there to make her feel very intimidated, and also so that they could stop her from escaping. So we see that Hanuman is now just thinking that could it be Sita, and it was Sita, because he could see that she was sorry, we have not covered this yet. Oh no, we have that he was, as soon as he sees her, then at this time, because he did see Mandodari before, but straight away he realized it wasn't Sita. And now when he sees Sita with her torn garments and sitting very on the ground, weeping, crying, and with her clothes all torn, but still looking very beautiful. So we can see that amongst all the ugliness, she was still looking, because she had that inner purity within her, and so she still looked very beautiful. But at the same time, she was like, her mind was always thinking of Rama all the time. So yes, so we see that, and he is now going to come definitely close to her and definitely try and give her some message. So we'll come across that later on. But I was just thinking also with, because I'd written it down, when in the beauty that when we were talking about the beauty of the grove, we see that even in Lanka it's so beautiful as well. But we have seen similar beauty in Vrindavan as well. When Krishna used to go to the forest, how the beautiful trees which are full of fruits, how they would come down, because we covered a little bit in Krishna book as well, how they would come down to Lord Krishna and Balaram and offer them fruits. So we've seen the birds and the peacocks and how they used to dance in that forest as well. And similarly here as well, the beautiful groves are described. And then the other thing that Hanuman was thinking was, when he was looking at Sita, is how she, being the queen, how she was a queen, she was a daughter of Janaka, how she was a wife of Rama, how she was actually the queen, and now she's here in the forest. So here I think we are saying that sometimes problems comes, not it doesn't mean that just because one is a queen or living in palaces and of high stature, they don't get calamities. Even they get calamities. So we saw how even Lord Rama, being a king, he about to become a king, he had to go to the forest. So calamities comes and goes. So the verse from Bhagavad Gita also says that it is a bit like Sitoshna, Sukha Dukkha. So, like winter and summer, it will come and go. And we also know that even Kunti Maharani used to pray that please give us calamities so we will think of you. So here, even amongst all this, Rakshasi, Sita is sitting, but her mind has never wavered. Her mind has always been on Ram. And she's sort of thinking, and she has full faith that Ram will come and help her. So she's being very tolerant and just sitting there quietly. Externally, she may look all, with dirty clothes and all tired and weeping and all that. But inside, she knows that she has got that faith that Ram will be there. Prabhuji, is that okay? I've forgotten where it is.
I think that's all, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. I think it's the next is only the Rakshasis and how they are. That's all that Mataji.
Okay, thank you.
So, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, dear devotees, any questions or any reflections from this Ramayana part?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Like, it's Mataji has mentioned, and also like, so why? Like, my first question is that why Sita, like, who is Ram's wife, has to go to this, like, calamity and like, this, like, on suffering. And other question, like, somebody has asked that, like, there was, as Mataji was saying that when it's dukkha, it will become sukha as well. Like but some of them is not happening. Like, they have, like, some people are born in like poor family or whatever, like, suffering. They have to suffer throughout. They don't get any happiness or like sukha, like materiality or any other. So how does this?
Thank you, Mataji. So here, so Hanuman, this is the beauty of the heart of Hanuman. So as he sees Sita Devi, and then his heart melts. So feeling reassured, but simultaneously despondent or not. I'm sorry, where is that one? He says that Hanuman moved, not that one.
Yes, it's quite a good point. It's further down. Yeah.
So even Hanuman felt his heart leap with joy because he found Sita, but it was agony to see her in such a wretched condition, appearing in every way like the eclipsed moon. Although fallen to the ground and weeping, she spread about her golden. So this is called the Sundara Kanda. Sundara means the beauty, beauty of the heart of Hanuman one side, and also how Sita Mata is absorbing in Rama consciousness and the conversations. It will beautify their hearts and how beautifully they think, the words they use, uh, and the context they apply to speak something. So this is, I think it comes as part of the Sundarakanda. So here in the Ramayana as a book, we are reading it straight away in the plain words, but it is called Sundarakanda. But why Sita Mata has been going through like this? She is now accompanying Lord Ramchandra in his pastimes. She is the goddess of fortune, and she cannot stay far away from Rama. Uh, that is one angle we would see, and she's taking sufferings. When she was able to enter into the fire and come out in the during the Agni Pariksha, she has come out very pure. Okay, and Agni Deva witnessed one part, and that is it will come later on. But in her childhood, she was able to lift the Lord Shiva's bow, and that is also one thing. And she is always behind Ramchandra, even though going into the forest. In the forest also, she has met Ansuya Devi. Ansuya Devi has given some celestial garments and some of the um, I think some ointment, something like that, some herbal things, which will make her beauty always without fading. It will retain her beauty as long as Rama is on the planet. So Anasuya Mata has given that one. So this is Sita Mata, how long she stays on the planet. It is very limited period. Limited period in the sense like if you think Rama is getting married at the age of approximately at 16 years of age, and then later on shortly after marriage he was sent to the forest for 14 years. So that means he is of around 30 years approximately, 30 plus years. And returning back to again Ayodhya, how long they would stay? Maybe maximum 2 to 3 years. And then by the time Sita Mata was pregnant, and then again Sita Mata was sent to the forest. Again, until this Lava and Kusha grown up, how long it could be approximately? Again, maybe another 14, 15 years, not even that much, maybe less than that. So hardly we could assume, assume Sita Mata was stayed for 50 years or 60 years. But how long Lord Ramchandra stayed on the planet? For 11,000 years. Without Sita Mata, he has ruled the kingdom and showed the people how to uh, live with dharmically, following all rules and regulations. So that is his promise. And then Lord Ram has kept Sita Mata's idol within his palace, so that he does not want to get separate from Sita Devi. Okay, but these are all for what purpose? And she's going through all these pains and sufferings. It is for, um, because as a mother, for her children, she goes through so much of uh, pains, and then she works very hard. It is for all the conditioned souls only. That is one aspect of it. And also, if we go into particularly analyze how a wife should behave with the husband, and what husband should be doing it. And Sita Mata, when she was speaking to Lakshman in the forest before Ravanastra was kidnapping her, so those words were hurting Lakshman. So those are all so many lessons we can learn. One should be very tolerant, not speaking those things, but otherwise things would not happen. But here, anything, even in our family lives, what it means. Of course, Rama and Lakshmana, they have Rama, Lakshmana, Sita Devi. They have lived on the planet for so many years. But Valmiki has compiled all this history and giving to us what it means to us in this life, how it will benefit for us. It's not only Rama Katha or Krishna Katha, but what it means to us, what we learn and live like that. It is tolerate. Titikshaya. One is the Tam Titikshasya Bharata. They will keep coming, and one has to keep steady in his path, Dharma. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. If we just protect Dharma, what is Dharma? If we carry on with our duties, prescribed duties without fail, and that is Dharma, and Dharma will protect us. If we use our I like it or I don't like something like that, then we will be into the trap of Maya. So this is just few reflections. Meena Mataji, you have got something more you're expecting some direct questions and answers.
Yeah, so like as you said, like Sita Mata is the wife of Brahma and and the daughter of Dasratha. But she has to suffer throughout, even after coming from the forest, still as Ram has said, has she has to go again to the forest because Ram has not accept after one of this somebody has said to while Ram was doing Nagar Yatra or something like that, and he heard, and he has Tyag, he has Tyag Sita Mata, and similarly some of the life like ancestors, they have to just suffer and suffer, and then by saying that Sukh after Sukh there is a Dukh after Sukh there is there's a dukh and then sukh will come. But sometimes some life they don't have that opportunity or nothing come up. Like as Mataji was saying, there was every time somebody has go to some austerity, like calamity, then they have to again come up. But somebody asked me the question as well, and I said there was no answer for me. I said it's their karma, that's why they said then why we are saying that there is a dukh and a sukh. So if there is karma, then how long they have to like suffer and like because of the karma, and they were saying that when someone died, they also when they have the swarnok or narklok, they have to go to narka. So if they have to done everything over there, then why they have to again come in the Akhi planet and suffer? So I can
Yeah, that is a good reflection, Mataji. So when we see into the sufferings, if you look at comparatively Ramchandra has gone to the forest 14 years and then returned back and then ruled the kingdom. And then he has fought with so many demons in the forest. And then uh, he has gone through the separation of Sita Devi as well, his wife. But if you look at Krishna's life, in the childhood itself, he was separated from the parents, from Devaki and Vasudev, and then gone to the Vrindavan forest. Every moment he was facing through challenges. The demonic people are coming and try to kill Krishna. There is no rest at all. There is no peace for Krishna at all. Of course, Krishna is, if you just keep Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead as who is not affected, but if we keep that angle one side, and if we see it from our material vision, so every moment there is a danger for Krishna. One side is Yashoda Mata is bit anxiety about Krishna, how to protect him, and he's seeing so many dangers until he was of teenagers. And then coming back to Madura, again there is Jarasandha keep on trying to fight with Krishna. So that is another angle. Keep on fighting. For 18 time. In the 18th time, again Krishna and Balram they have jumped into the water and gone back. Of course, just keeping other things like he has manifested Dwaraka. That is all his arrangements, his prowess and his mighty powers. But again, going to the Dwaraka there, again, Dwaraka was attacked by so many times by many other people, um, just like the Salva and one more demon, the son of Kashi, king of Kashi. So they have also disturbed in so many ways. And then later on, this Hispala is fighting, and then Rukmini, and there's so many. This fight keep on going on, but until at the end of 125 years, all of his family has died, killing each other, and Krishna witnessed it. Even his child Pradyumna and everyone are also killed in front of him. How much pain he has gone through when compared to Ramachandra. Of course, here, even though those things are there, Krishna is not affected. But if we see with our material eyes, how much pains Krishna would have gone. Is there any other personality has faced that many problems in their life? I would not see that many. It is just only Krishna has gone through. If we see that, but Ramchandra just for a few years, the 14 years, but he got separated from Sita Devi only, and then fought this Ravanasura and killed all of them. But childhood, he was looked after by very nicely by his parents. All good. Again, coming back to Ayodhya after separation, but still he has lived. Though he feels separation from Sita Devi, but he did not face that many challenges as we see from or hear from this Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavatam. We see, but glories of the Lord are innumerable. Wherever we see the glories only. But from the materialist vision, then the problems that Krishna has gone through is innumerable than anyone else. Can anyone say reflect on that one?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Hare Krishna, Mataji. That's such a thought-provoking question. I don't know much. Prabhuji has explained so well, but I was also just thinking. I wonder if where we say after winter, summer comes. I wonder if the people who we think are suffering, they in this life probably they will suffer, but in their next life the summer will come. I don't know if it works like that. So I know it's too late by then because they would have gone from this life, but at least in the next life, I wonder if it's something like that. Because for some, the summer and winter doesn't probably happen in the same life. We all, like Mataji is saying that, for some, they are seeing agony all the time. So why is that? But so that's one sort of thing. It's probably a question and a reflection as well. I don't know. But the other thing also I was thinking that, sometimes we think we look at someone who's living in a village, in a hut, in a small hut, so many people sharing, so hardly anything. They are just barely surviving. But on their face, they are so happy. They are very content with what they have. They never complain. So sometimes I wonder if it's our perception as well that we think just because they are living in a poor place or whatever, they are not happy, but they probably are more happy because they even sleep well at night, whereas some very rich people may not be able to sleep very well. So I'm just thinking whether it could even be that we think when we look at someone, oh, they are not happy, but they might be. But I do know, Mataji, what you're saying, that for some people it's one after the other and it's never ending. Even Pandavas went through so much in their life as well, one after the other, one after the other. So, Prabhuji, I don't know whether it's something like that. Whether if they don't see happiness in this life, does it mean that they would be happy in the next life? I don't know.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So here, Prabhupada, exactly whatever you have mentioning, Mataji, reflecting, Prabhupada exactly said that people who are poverty stricken or they are happy in their own conditions and narakastopi dehim vai puman chaktum there Narakyam Niruto Satyam Devamaya Vimohitaha. Kapil Bhagavan says that even though in hellish condition, one does not want to leave his condition because they're already in the Bhagavatam. It is described in the 20, the third canto. They're happy in their conditions, so they're not. And people in the with riches and all those things, they may not be satisfied. But here, this is like so he says that here, whatever the condition of Jantarvai Bhavayatas, and the fifth shloka comes in Narakastopi Deham by Napuman Chakti Michati Narakyam Niruto Satyam Deva Maya Vimohitaha. So the condition living entity is satisfied in his own particular species of life. While deluded by covering inflames of illusory energy, he feels little inclined to cast off his body, even when in hell, for he takes delight in hellish enjoyment. He takes delight in hellish enjoyment. Um, so here, uh, so this is again coming to the Indra's pastimes, how he became a hog and then living, he was satisfied in his life. Likewise, everyone, even in the hellish condition, they are satisfied. So that is called illusion or Maya. Everyone is satisfied with his standard of living, however abominable it may be. Again, this is we have seen our Avaranatmika, Prakshepatmika. So this is one is pulling down, one is covering. This is called throwing illusion energy, covering illusion energy. So two energies, they will cover the living entity so that they will be in that condition only. So they find even a hog who lives by eating stool finds himself happy, although a person in higher mode of life sees the hog is eating stool, how abominable that life is. He may be thinking that, but actually that hog or person who is in the poverty-stricken and painful condition, he is happy, but it is only our perceptions. At the end, everyone are going to die. They will live. Some people die in the few days before, some people few days later. What do we gain? Kim pramataihi bahuvihi parokshaihi hainaihi varamuhurtum viditam gatate shreyasayataha. But how much life we are living meaningfully, that matters. Kim pramataihi bahuvihi parokshaihi hainaihi varamuhurtum viditam gatate shreyasayataha. Sukadeva Goswami says, it is not how long we live or just showing compassionate to other living entities who are poverty stricken, but we do as a matter of duty, whatever all we can do. Just giving some food and share with everyone else, but not because of their poverty stricken. But we see the Lord everywhere and in my heart and there also. Guha Saivana Dehamani, not the body. But we distribute everything that it belongs to Lord, we give it to the Lord back in the same way, serving all other living entities as well. As a matter of duty, this is dharma. And then surrendering ourselves to Krishna, always in Krishna consciousness. That makes life uh, filling with a devotional life, meaningful life. But otherwise, there is no meaning. Just showing compassion as a living entities without Krishna consciousness, it does not lead to anywhere. Just few reflections.
So Prabhuji, though, Meena Mataji obviously is wondering even more, like somebody who can't seem to come out of their mishaps, their whatever they are going through. Does it mean that they are going through their karma, and then when then hopefully in the next life they will have a better future? Is that what it means? So
About next life, again, they need to do some pious activity. Or if it is their karma is being diminished, they will dig into the next, whatever the state they were meant to be. So sometimes people take birth in the poor condition. After some time, they will get some riches and become happy. It is not only the next life. Maybe they can also become good in this life itself. Maybe their poverty is stricken and diseased in the beginning until half of their age, and then later on, their luck may be turned. So this is all karma. Punaratra Vrajasuchipi. So there, at the end,
When when they are in Nark Lok or whatever, like that hellish planet, then karma is not finished.
sorry, Mataji.
Sorry?
Can you repeat the question, Mataji?
Like they say, like Narka, if whatever we do sinful, we have to go in this Narka, and like there's name of the different name of this Narka as well. So if they have done like wrong things or whatever, they have not suffered, like they on the Narka Lok, they have not come, like karma is not finished. Still they have to come with that karma.
Karma, it is not one. We are able to see one living entity with a small vision, a small tiny window. But Lord says, Tam Jio Karma Padavi Manuvartamana. As a super soul, he witnessed every activity. but we have got a window, only small window. Within that small window, sometimes we see a person is a good or person is not good. In only tiny window we see it, but we cannot come to conclusion that this person is pious and this person is sinful. But we do not know whether he is burning his sins or he is accumulating sins. That we do not know. But here, so Kapil Bhagavan says, having gone through all miserable hellish conditions and having passed in a regular order through the lowest forms of animal life prior to human birth, and having thus been purged of his sins, one is reborn again as a human being on this earth. This is Adhistan Naralokasya Yavatihi Yatanadaya Kramashah Samanukramiya Punaratra Vrajet Suchihi. Just again, gradual. Kramashah Sam Anukramya in a regular order, having gone through all the sufferings like Yavati Yatanare, all the pains, punishments, and so on. Later on, he gradually he'll be freed. Punaratra Vrajet Suchihi becoming pure. Then he will get an opportunity to take a birth as a proper human being.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just said Krishna. Yeah, from this born from the jail, and so yeah, there's nothing compared to anybody. This is very true.
And if we think Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is happy means that God means, of course, he maintains his position. Na yujyate sada atmastaihi. He was not affected by the material nature. That is one angle, but the problems Krishna has gone through is unparalleled with anyone else.
And there was other thing with the devotee who's suffering. Because they can continue remember God, like if they are suffering, then in dukkha, when we always remember the God. And secondly, then God don't have to give another birth, so they have to suffer this birth, isn't it? For the devotee. So whatever karma they have past karma, they want to suffer in this karma and in this life, and then they don't have to take another body. And that's why some of them suffering like devotee and senior devotee and stuff.
Jai Mataji.
So Mataji, you're asking that once they have gone through their karma.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I understand that as you said, like might be the next birth they can go, but first of all, nobody know that next birth they can forget. But sometimes they want happiness is karma. But anyway, that is, I think I understand it. I'm saying for the devotee who suffers, they are like, because when we are suffer, when we are in the at that time we go more attract to God.
Yeah.
And also, like, secondly, God don't want to give next birth because they hold the karma. They want to like finish this birth, this like in this karma, like in this life, and so they don't have to take next life to come for the karma as well, even whether good or bad. And that's the reason they are suffering as well, isn't it? For the devotee, it's a different, like pure devotee, when you can see that why they are suffering, but there is reason for that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we know Kunti Maharani was praying that, in the calamities, I will always remember you. So give us calamities. So that is okay. But what I don't know is whether when the karmas may not all finish in one life, Prabhuji, is that correct? Would karmas all finish in would we start with a clean slate in the next life? That's what I'm trying to get.
So in the next life, we will carry again Shariram yad avapnoti yachapi utkramatishvarah So again, Gandhani Ivashaya, just like as Krishna describes in the 15th chapter. We carry those vasanas. It is not a clean slate, but there are still some desires. Still some desires are there.
Yes, so it's all due to the time, place, and circumstances of Prakriti. When it arranges, then we go through all that. But when things don't fall into place, then we might have to carry that forward. Something like that.
So this one should not contemplate desire pious or impious activities. One, as long as one is a servant of Krishna only, because we wanted to be servant of eternal person, not the temporary person, and we do not claim anything for ourselves. Claiming for ourselves, it will put us back into this material world. Prakriti, it will not release. Again, there is Devhuti must ask those questions. How can it be possible? In that I think 27th chapter, it is possible. Then Kapil Bhagavan says, Agnir Yonir Ivaranihi. So say the question before. Let us see the question. It is very beautiful questions. Therefore, he might ask that few questions. Even though he is the passive performer of all activities, how can there be freedom for the soul as long as material nature acts on him and binds him? And this question, even if the great fear of bondage is avoided by mental speculation and inquiry into the fundamental principles, it may still appear again, because since its cause has not ceased. These questions by Devhuti. And then Kapil Bhagavan answers this one. But one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service unto me and thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me. By thus executing one's prescribed duties, there will be no reaction and one will be freed from the contamination of matter. Agni Yona Nivarani, just like a ज्ञानेन दृष्टतत्त्वेन वैराग्येन बलीयस तपोयुक्तेन योगेन तीव्रेण आत्मसमाधिन तपोयुक्तेन योगेन वैराग्येन detachment from the material world ज्ञानेन दृष्टतत्त्वेन says devotions has to be performed strongly in perfect knowledge and with a transcendental vision. One must be strongly renounced and must engage in austerity and perform mystic yoga in order to be firmly fixed in self-absorption. Then what happens? Prakritihi purushasyeha dahyamana tu aharnisham. Tiro bhavitri senekaihi agniryo nirivarani. Gradually, he will go back. So here, the influence of material nature has covered the living entity, and thus it is as if living entity were always in a blazing fire. But by the process of seriously discharging devotional service, this influence can be removed, just as a wooden sticks which cause fire are themselves consumed by it. So this is the reflection. When we are no more claiming personal claims that I am the master, I am the doer, like that, and then everything for the Krishna sake, for the pleasure of Krishna, and detachment from the material world with complete knowledge. Jnana, knowledge, and detachment, and bhakti. Jnana, vairagya, bhakti. Then there is a liberation. Again, jnana and vairagya is there, but not bhakti. Means we come back. Okay, stay in the Brahma Jyoti for some time and come back. And without detachment, just knowledge and devotional service. That means again he may be coming as a devotee in this material world, though in the devotion material world, engaging in the devotional activity, jnana, but there is no detachment here. Like many devotees are like that. They have got knowledge and they are engaged in devotional service, but still they are in this material world. Detachment is not yet manifested. And just and if without a jnana and only detachment and bhakti, how it is kind of a blind faith, just a blind faith. I have got no interest on this material world. I wanted to be in the going temple and coming back, but there is no knowledge. But that is also not strong. So here the first detachment, knowledge, and bhakti all together to be strongly performed. Then one can completely vanquish this material existence and go back to God. Hare Krishna.
Some animals like only bhakti sometimes take you to the liberation without Gnan. So some of them do not have that much knowledge, but if they have bhakti, love for the God, then they not get liberation without Gnan. That knowledge that much, but just like it say like they were saying like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when one of the no that is not good example, but I'm saying in Bhagavad Gita when it says it's serious, but he has so much love for the Krishna and but that is not right example. But I'm saying that if somebody has just the bhakti and they don't have study or anything, they don't get any liberation.
And one thing is with bhakti, it contains all the detachment plus jnana. If it is a bhakti, complete bhakti, it should contain both.
Right, okay.
It is implicit,
Okay.
but that will also make him to be in Krishna consciousness. And what I'm talking about, there is a bhakti, but it is not pure, means there is no detachment. When there is a pure bhakti manifested, detachment is there, knowledge is also there. That is pure bhakti. So everything is embedded.
Question, like, sometimes like they say, like, Jagannath Puri or whatever, you just eat rice or prasadam each day in the morning, bringing from Jagannath Puri. And then they were saying that then you will not get mixed birth. So that type of thing is like, sometimes in Ekadasi also mentioned like that. So that is like true, like just eating one rice and like, prasadam each day, that one get punarjanma.
So this Ekadasi Vrata, following Ekadasi Vrata,
There was like sometimes they was saying Ekadasi, if you do this Ekadasi, only just observing Ekadasi, you don't have sin like not to go to the sinful like again like bath and death or something. Some of the Ekadasi mentioned, and also I heard like somebody like from Jagannath Puri, if you got prasadam rice, like they was like every day if you eat that rice, then you don't get punachanma. So it's just true. How does that work?
so every day we eat prasadam, when we eat, we prepare in a prasadam for ourselves.
No, not that prasadam. Like, getting from Jagannath Puri rice. Like, in they are selling rice, and they are, you can buy, you can get the rice from Jagannath Puri, and
Yeah.
it was like dried rice. And he said you have to eat like every day in morning one rice before you do, or any day just one rice, and like every day if you do, then there is no punacharna.
Yes, Mataji, because it reminds us that we are taking prasadam every day. Yes, we have got those dry rice and keeping it in mixing with our regularize.
And then they are doing like, we are still in the material Mayavadi and everybody there also eat rice. Okay, just eating the rice is then you don't have to get, but that work, I'm just so confused.
In Mayavadi,
Like no Mayavadi, but anybody can eat that rice, like, afterward they can do the simple or whatever they're doing every day. But then just eat one rice. But then, and also in Jagannath Puri, every day everybody get the prasadam. So they don't get even punarjanma like that.
yes, ma'am. So this is Jagannath Prasad only. That means it is not ordinary Jagannath Prasad. They will be liberated in this, just like as we see one of the pastimes of Ramanujacharya. As soon as the remnants of his food is thrown into the water, the fishes eaten that one, and then they got the four-filled form now and gone back to Vaikuntha. So whenever we eat Jagannath Prasadam directly, so as soon as we feed this body, we may not, because we are consciously eating Jagannath Prasadam every day. That means Krishna consciousness. And when we eat food, whoever prepares the food, their consciousness also come to the people who are eating it. And whenever prepared by the devotees of the Lord, they are in the devotional mood. So it does not bring any karmic act, it brings only the devotion. So whoever eats that one, immediately their consciousness will be coming. It is a pure Krishna consciousness. They'll be liberated. Thank you, Maharaj, for sharing with us.
Jagannath Prasad.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Again, there is a pastime of Jagannath Prasad about how mm, once upon a time Nargumuni went to Vaikuntha, and then there he asked the goddess of fortune that I wanted to have some food, that remnants of the food Lord has left over, and then goddess of fortune she spoke to Lord, and then at the time Lord says that when I don't see that, then you give it to Narad Muni like that. And then goddess of fortune did that, and the Narad Muni was eating and then enjoying coming to Lord Shiva. And then by the time he has nothing left with him, and then Lord Shiva asked why you are so happy and joyful. And Narad Muni narrates his pastime that I had eaten Jagannath Prasad. And then where is me? And then looking at the fingers of Narada Muni, there is small particle, and then he took that part and then trying to eat, and then he also dances. I am not sitting with Jagannath Prasad. And Mother Parvati looking at her husband, why he is dancing, and knowing that he has taken one particle, but she was not happy that the particle is not shared with her. Lord says shares his body, but not that particular. And then she was a bit angry, and then she goes directly to the Lord, and then um, admit that one. Yes. And then Lord says, yes, let's take the prasadam. Then it is not only me alone. I am a mother as well. I have got so many children. Means all living in this world, they're all Mother Parvati's children only. So later on, this Jagannath Pastime, whenever there is Jagannath festival or festival is happening, everyone are fed sumptuously on the feast. It's very beautiful thing, but in a few words, but actually it is a very beautiful pastime.
Yeah, so that's why they offer for Swimla Devi whatever night and then go outside, isn't it? Like after go Vimla Devi and then distribute it others. That prasad.
Yes, my brother. Yes.
So that prasad is, and then also like Sivji, like gold prasad is just a prasad, but when devotee eat that prasad, pure devotee, that become Maha Prasad, and that's the reason when Narad, like Narad, whatever Narad was eating, Sivji is eating from there. It has become Maha Prasad. That's what. And then Sivji is more happy. That's what I asked.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Thank
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we are on to the 51st. Any devotees, unless you have got anything else to share, we shall conclude our session for today. Can I request everyone to do three loud Hari Bol to Jai Mataji for
you.
sharing?
Jagannath Rath, yes, for it. Yes, today, I don't know.
In the London Mataji?
Yeah, in London, but it was organized by the Ramayana temple, but big, yeah.
From
Jagannath.
Bradford.
Sorry,
Sorry, which temple Mataji?
like it's organized like Swaminarayan
Oh,
temple.
Swaminarayan. Okay, there Jagannath.
Yeah, but it's a Jagannath Rath, yeah, in London.
Oh, okay, that is very beautiful.
Yesterday was there in Portugal. It's really nice and so many devotees, like, in that park, but very beautiful yesterday.
Yes.
And one more thing I just want to say that I get an opportunity to do Snan Yatra on like Jagannath when same day as Jagannath, and then there was Rath Yatra which was on 16th. So one of the Sanatan temple they are doing Rath Yatra, and they also allowed my Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra to put in that Rath. So I managed to do that Rath Yatra with Jagannath putting on the Rath. Yeah, it was really, I was so happy that we got the opportunity to do the Snan Yatra, like, and then also Rath Yatra. I managed to, not I, but Jagannath and managed, like, I managed, like, taking into the Rath and doing the Rath Yatra.
Very fortunate to taking part in that festival.
Yeah, and also allowed my like Jagannath also sit in that Rath. So I'm so happy that then my Jagannath also sit in that Rath. Thank you.
Mataji, you are a true devotee. You are so blessed.
Jagannath is fish, and then the Sanatan temple, one of the, when they allowed, I took it there and said, okay, you can put it on. They have big Jagannath, when they allowed my Jagannath.
Yeah, we need to say three loud Haribols to Meena Mataji for asking
Hari Bol,
beautiful
Hari
questions.
Bol.
Haribol,
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 Haribol.
Haribol.
Meena
Lots of
Mataji,
Jai
Haribol.
Mataji. Jai Mataji.
No, no, to all the devotees.
Hari Bol.
Haribol,
Haribol,
Haribol.
Haribol, Haribol,
And to Prabhuji, who's been there for hours and hours with us. Haribol,
Haribol, Prabhu, Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Sorry
much.
for your time, long time.
Yes.
Yes,
And Prabhuji, just a parting question. That rice that Mataji has been talking about, it's not something that you buy, is it? It has to be given to you like a prasad. Is that correct?
No, you have to buy that. They very small amount, but buy.
Yeah, we may also buy Mataji. If no one is giving us, then at least we buy. Yes, I know.
Oh, okay.
Because they're also selling it, like, once they have, because they have the cost as well, isn't it, to make all this prasadam.
Oh, yes, yes, of
Then
course.
they go to the Anand Bazaar, it's called, and then it's very, very small amount, but you have to purchase.
Oh, okay. No, I've not been blessed yet. So even to go to a single one.
Managed to go 3-4 times, so there's a reason I.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, that's all now shall conclude and let's continue with further discussion. कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Anandapati Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Prabhupada.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.